Well, I'll tell you what, we got us a good one today, guys. Let's go into talking about edging. This is one of those things, whenever you get ready to start any type of project, you need to start planning with edging. If you're going to use metal, you know, the nice thing about metal is that you can do shapes, designs, all pretty slick and pretty easy, and you can cut it. So now, there's some other things we're going to do today. One thing that I want to show you is the concrete, the rock, the edging. It's all pretty cool. Let's get into it. I'll tell you what, for a beginner situation, metal edging is your simplest, easiest, and most available that you can get from about anywhere. So this is just a product that's super simple and it's easy. And you're talking about making a huge transition in a yard of super simple, metal edging is your guy. All right, so all you got to do to connect the metal edging, literally there's two, you got an upper and a lower on this, and you tie them together. So let's go here, let's tie that together. Now I know in the comments you guys are going to say if you do it the other way, to where this is on top, it's much easier. It definitely is. But when I got started on this, I had to do it backwards from where I had to go. So we're going to show you the hard way to doing it. Now, one thing you definitely want to do is make sure you keep this little edge right here nice and tight. It'll make, so I just hold my thumb on the back side of it like this, tap it in nice and slow, and there you go, and it'll give you a nice tight. But now if you ever need to adjust it one way or another, you can actually tap these stakes back and forth, and that'll close this gap right here pretty easy. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is how to tie on to. We have existing metal right here, and the easiest way to tie your metal into it without an issue, so you don't have a stake or anything right here to cut. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a grinder and we're going to cut that down, and we'll tie it and drill it. Okay, the real key to this, to making this work, you got to make sure you have enough tail or enough section to actually put in this afterwards. So you don't want to cut too short because we want a nice smooth transition. So, all right, let's cut it. Look how nice and smooth that cut is. I tell you, just quick, easy, super simple. All right, so now what we want to do is we need to tap this down. So we're going to tap this down and clamp the end so you hold it tight, then tap it down. You don't have to do this, but it gives you a nicer snug feel and everything. I drill the first piece of metal, so that's what I do. And you want to wait until you feel the drill bit tap through. You'll feel it go through the first piece of metal, so that's when I stop. Right there, you probably heard it. Now we're through the first piece. All right, so by doing that, the metal and everything will stay nice and tight. If you don't drill it, when you start screwing, the metal will try to actually pull out. So I just take that friction out, and so I just drill straight into the second piece, and then things just stay put a lot better. Really wish I'd have brought more than one battery. So now I'm going to use my Tech screws. These Tech screws are brown, the same color as the metal edging, so it just works out nice. You won't even hardly see them. Let's look at the difference it makes and how easy, and with the transition it makes in no time flat. This makes a huge difference. Boom, nice and tight, never even notice. Look at how easy and how this just makes a transformation nice and quick. I mean, you're talking about simple. See this nice, easy transition it made? Right, so let's back up. See how that transitions right in? Boom. We'll make that into a flower bed. This brings us up to our next product that you could use for your edging. A minute ago, we used metal edging. Now, we're going to talk about concrete edging. So this is another product that you can buy from box stores or even your local garden centers. I'm sure they carry something along these lines. It's a nice, easy, manageable piece that you could put in your car, that you can run around. It doesn't weigh much, and they're very durable. The thing that really has an advantage on this is that you can move them. And so let's say in a couple of years, like this area, this flower bed is actually back there, and we're going to move it out because of the bush has grown. So all we got to do is we're going to recalibrate this and move it out, and you're good to go, and you don't have to buy any more products. This piece sticks out right here, and it ties into this groove right here. So it makes it fairly stable, and you want to bury it about a third of the way down to make sure you keep it straight and narrow, so whenever you bump it. But it gives you a nice smooth area to run your weed eater against when you're mowing. So this is another great option that you can do. Let's get to laying. Now, one thing that's nice about this product is it actually comes with curved pieces. And you can see on this where they've actually had it laid down in here about a third of the way, and it keeps it, you still got the same groove on both ends, and it works really well. And so now we're going to tie this piece into this, and all we're going to do is move the bed out. And the nice thing about this is we aren't having to buy any more product. Metal edging is hard to do that, plus it rusts. So that, you know, for a homeowner situation, this is a great option. Now, the nice thing about using these type of edging is it doesn't take much. A good square shovel will go a long ways into this. So basically what I use is a square shovel to dig my ditches out. The other product that you really need to make sure you have is a good pick. And so basically I use a Maddox pick that's set up to where I can dig a little wider trench and use your pick if you need to on the other end, but I use the Maddox a lot. And so the Maddox basically will make things where it'll give you a little wider trench. That's the one thing you want to do with these blocks. You want a nice, flat, wider trench because you need to be able to adjust them just ever slightly, and then you can pack them in, and that'll give you a nice straight edge. All right, let's show you how you do it. So now we're going to tie this in to this curve over here and keep on trucking. One other thing that I use a lot when I'm doing remodeling or doing any of these beds, I actually use a 2x4. It's that simple. And basically what you want to do is lay it on the outside edge, and it just gives you a nice straight edge to work off of. Just, you'd be amazed how much time it saves just to do that. And then you basically, you know exactly, you bump it up to it, you're good and straight for this. Now let me show you one other nice simple trick. So whenever you dig out a bed, hold your shovel like this. So we got your shovel curved this way. Come in and do the back wall with it. Drag it out. But now it leaves you a little bit of a slanted on the front. So what you want to do is, you hold your shovel up and you dig backwards. So you come in here, you stab it down, you cut it, stab it down. And so it gives you that flat bottom. So what you want to do is you come in here, you cut that side down, drag it out. And it gives you a nice flat square bottom. And it's one simple, especially if you have soft dirt. Now this is one more style of edging that you can use. This is basically a river rock that they came in and they laid it out and made a wall out of it to do their edging. But now what they have to do is they have to keep up and make sure they spray this edging because that grass wants to grow up through the rock. But this is one other style of edging that you can use. It's reusable, so it's another very good choice. So this is basically an edging without an edging. So what they use is they come through with chemically and keep it edged out. So they don't actually have a border, but they keep through here and they spray the edges and keep it. So that's another good way of keeping it. But now the one downside to this is you need to make sure that you keep up with your spraying. If you don't, if you're not one of those people that's going to come out here and spray religiously, especially down here in the South, Bermuda will crawl over, you'll have a world-class mess. But if you'll stay with it, you can keep these scalloped out and not have to worry about any edging, then you don't have to weed eat. But this is just one more option, but you just got to remember, there's a little bit more maintenance, weekly maintenance on this. You just got to make sure you keep it sprayed because this will get out of hand quick. Well, this is the last option we've got for today's video, is cut stone. But I tell you what, it's the last one, but it's my most favorite. So this is a cut stone. Basically, it's a 4-inch by 6-inch cut. So they actually take it on a splitter and they split it. But now, so they actually split these. You buy them by the pallet. I'll show you that. And then it gives you a nice, easy edge, and it's still something that lasts forever. You can move this and do whatever you want to it, so it's a permanent situation. That's the nice thing about rock. It's kind of like the concrete, but you can get these in different shades. You know, around here, we've got basically about 7 or 8 different colors we can get. This is called the blue. Boy, I tell you what, this is my favorite color by far. And it's a nice, easy deal. So what I always do is I just get a random cut. I come in, set them in, and this little porch, little patio, we actually have a cut stone side stepping stones with cut stone in there with gravel, and it works out. And then we got the border for the grass. This is one of my favorite little projects. So guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or anything, I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to always like, subscribe. Y'all have a good one.